just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama.
Alright. Alright, boys, just taking a little drink. You know, this is gonna be a long one, fellas. Alright. I'm mixed on Red Dead Online, which is a pretty upsetting thing to say. Mainly because there's a lot of potential in this game. And the problem is, Rockstar hasn't really utilized that potential that much, and it hasn't done it that well, you know. And the problem is that it's done, you know, parasitic microtransactions like the gold bar system, and it's trying to treat Red Dead Online like it's going to make a lot of money, just like how GTA Online made them a lot of money. And it's a damn shame. Rockstar keep thinking about the pockets first, before thinking about the players. And I guess it's best we talk about where the mode started off and, you know, begin talking about the entire timeline of this game mode. So let's get into that. Alright, I'm gonna be frank here. When the beta first released, I fucking hated it. I mean, I thought it was probably one of the worst things Rockstar ever created. Mainly because of just how lifeless and bland it was. There wasn't that much to do in it on launch. There was only about 5, 6, 7, 8 missions you could do. And all you really could do for money making was do hunting, do a few stranger missions, or at the very least, maybe if you're lucky, go and do the old Blue Rose strategy by, you know, doing one of the missions and hunting in there. Which, to be honest, I mean, it's a good way to make money, but that's not fun in my opinion. I want to do something else. And the problem was, Red Dead Online at that time, it was getting fucking bombarded with so many people just not liking it. And to be honest, I felt the same way. And the problem is, at this time period, there wasn't really that much incentive to play. Now granted, during the beta's timeline, they did update it a little bit. For example, they added in the bounty hunter system. Not literally the bounty hunter role that came in later on. That part comes later, by the way. But they added in a bounty hunter thing where if you were being a bit of a bad boy in a little town, you would start getting, you know, the money up and the bounty up, similar to story mode. But unlike story mode, there wasn't really that much of incentive to do it. It wasn't really that fun having a $10 bounty getting chased by NPCs. In fact, it was more of a nuisance. I mean, I remember one time during the beta I was playing with some friends, you know, my friend GB, he was streaming during the beta, and we were hanging out at a little fishing spot and one of his posse members had a bounty over $10. So instead of the you know, absolute brainlet, absolute man who knew everything, you know, he decided instead of paying off the bounty, he just kept it on while we were fucking fishing, which really pissed off a lot of the players that were hanging out on that day. Now granted, the bounty hunting thing obviously got better with later updates, but right now we're talking about the beta. During the beta, it was fucking horrendous, it was. I'm being real, like, I genuinely disliked having the bounties on in the beta because, like I said, there's no real incentive. Maybe if a random player killed you, and you got the money from their bounty, similar to GTA Online, maybe that would give me an incentive to go after players with a bounty. But no, it didn't. In fact, you didn't really get that much. If anything, you got a bounty on yourself as well. And Rockstar at that time, they weren't very transparent as well as usual. They were just like, hey, look at these brand new emotes, and look at this event week. A fucking sale on tonics. Yes, the very first event week for Red Dead Online was sales on tonics. That tells you something, you know. That tells you something. Alright, on a serious note, let's get into some good stuff about the beta. The PvP was balanced, to say the least. It was fun. The PvP. Okay, I'm gonna just be real. The timeline during the beta was probably one of the worst times during Red Dead Online's entire life cycle. Like, it was so terrible. And when Rockstar released microtransactions for the beta, a lot of people said, alright, this ain't no beta anymore. If you're having microtransactions, then no. That's not a beta. That's like saying Fortnite's a beta. And that shit has fucking VP bucks. Oh man. Fucking free VP. And now let's get into probably the best part of the beta timeline. I guess the daily challenges. Now the daily challenges was actually probably one of the main motivations for me and many other players to play the beta. Mainly because you got gold. And yes, the beta is what, you know, brought in the daily challenge system, which is probably one of the best things in Red Dead Online. These daily challenges is literally one of the best things in Red Dead Online. Free gold is always going to be a hell yeah boy kind of thing for me, and like, oh no from Rockstar, because Rockstar know they ain't getting that much money from us boys and girls, you know, getting them lovely gold nuggets from doing the fucking daily challenges. And they also shot themselves in the foot later on when they added in the streaks, but we'll get to that later. Oh yes, we will. But however, there was one problem at one point during the beta with the gold nuggets, and I might as well let an old clip from 2019 me talk about that issue.
Doing some of the daily challenges. For example, I was doing, I was throwing 5 animals onto the back of my horse, and also I was selling an animal claw, because, that's an easy thing, because I love to do hunting. Now, when I do it, this happens. Did you notice anything? If you have guessed that I did not get my gold or XP, you would be correct. I did not get the notification, nor did I get my gold change when I checked.
God, I forgot how bad most of the pacing is in most of my old videos. So for a while during the beta, towards the end of the beta at least, there was an issue in Red Dead Online where for some reason it would not let you at all get your money or gold or XP from doing the daily challenges. And to be honest, that pissed a lot of players off, so much so that a lot of people actually were close to quitting the game because of loss of gold, which, I mean, is a bit childish. But when later on, obviously there was more actual issues people could leave the game over, I give them a pass on that. But on the just leave them because they didn't get any gold, nah. And besides, a lot of players got that gold back, myself included. I got the gold that I lost back later on, which, I mean, I'm not complaining. Granted, it was like, what, 2 gold bars? That's not much. That's like, what, a t-shirt maybe in this game? Some fucking socks? Oh, for fuck's sake. In conclusion, the beta was not really that good for Red Dead Online. If anything, I think, honestly, it was probably one of the worst things that ever happened to the game. Now granted, obviously, betas need to be a thing so people can play test, but this was not a fucking beta. This was just an online mode with beta on the top of it, just so Rockstar could say, hey guys, slow down. We know we have problems in this game, but listen, it's a beta, okay? Don't at us. If you do, you're not listening. This is a beta. It's gonna be fixed in a few days. Don't I promise. Now, when it came to Rockstar fixing stuff, that part came a little bit later down the road, that did, in form of an update in May. Speaking of, in the eyes of the community, this is seen as one of the best updates. People say that this is either A, the best update, or B, the second best update. Mainly because, for obvious reasons, this was what brought Red Dead Online on the map. This is what put it on the map. This is what made more people play Red Dead Online. Mainly because, finally, Red Dead Online was out of the beta, and it was actually in an actual full-on fledged online mode, with loads of content, loads of new missions, and some more storyline missions as well for the Land of Opportunity stuff, which is pretty fun. Along with some new weapons as well, one of the many being the Lamat revolver, which was a fan favourite weapon returning from Red Dead Redemption 1. And a lot of people were happy to see that gun return, myself included. And I'm gonna be honest, I really loved this update when it released. In fact, I made an entire review on the update when it first released, and I will still say this, I think this is one of Rockstar's best updates. Mainly because it actually brought fucking content into Red Dead Online and not left it to be a desolate wasteland. Kinda like Tumbleweed in 1911. Oh man, that joke's never gonna get old. One of the first things that actually got added into this update was poker. And it was basically poker, just like how it was in the story mode. Texas Hold'em, and you know, you gotta get the right hand if you wanna get that cheeky little win. And there was a massive controversy also regarding the poker, which I had a few back and forth with friends of mine about the whole thing. Specifically, the whole countries that would not allow players to play poker in Red Dead Online. I know someone will be like, but what if we want to play it? You know, well, I'm sorry, but those countries have a few strict gambling laws, and whether the countries are democratic or not, you still gotta sort of respect their rules of not doing online gambling, because obviously, I guess it's kind of also there for, you know, so people don't get addicted, but, you know, I lamau, because a lot of them are dictatorships. But on a real note, on an actual serious note, the online gambling part was probably one of the biggest drawbacks for the poker, mainly because not a lot of people were able to experience it. For some reason, people in countries like Belgium and the Netherlands weren't allowed to play Red Dead Online's Texas Hold'em, but were fine and dandy when it came to playing the blackjack and roulette in GT Online's casino. And I guess this update was also sort of like a test for the casino updates. So, yeah, Red Dead Online is kind of why we have the casino updates in the GT Online. So you know what? Red Dead Online, round of a fucking applause, my dude. You gave us two of the best updates in GTA Online's history. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, my good friend. Yes. Thank you. Yes. But yes, the poker, you know, it wasn't really that good if you wanted to make money. I mean, if you're good at gambling, yeah, you can play it if you want, if you know what you're doing. But unfortunately, you won't make that much. It's kind of like actual poker in real life. Oh wait. But yeah, it is still fun if you just want to play with friends. Just relax, you know, hang out in a Discord call with some friends and just say, hey, you want to play some poker? And they're like, yeah, let's play some poker. And so you play some poker, and boom, bada bing. You know, wham, fam, thank you, ma'am. You got yourself a good night, I guess. You know, you and your friends playing some poker, Red Dead Online, having a good time. Which, I mean, it's pretty fun. Like, I'll admit it, I've had a few fun times whenever I'm playing poker with my friends. You know, we're just hanging out in the Discord call, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bet on this. And sometimes we win, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we make money, sometimes we get robbed. But yeah, poker was probably one of the best parts of that update. And also, if you are easily able to get into addictions, gambling is a serious addiction. Don't play like hard games and that all the time. Don't let yourself get addicted, my dude. But seek help if you are addicted to gambling. Now, the next thing on the shopping list of content that got released in this update was guns! Yes, guns. Specifically, the LeMat revolver. Probably one of the biggest fan favorite items in the first Red Dead Redemption game. And I think the LeMat revolver was probably one of the best parts of the update, mainly because it was a strong revolver and it was pretty good if you're in a PvP situation. I actually did a video talking about the history of the LeMat revolver, showing off the fire rate and also the I guess the reload animations as well. Just letting people know how it works and all that. Showing people what the gun's like. I guess we can look at that again too. Look at the animations if you guys want to. So yeah, the LeMat revolver was pretty good, especially when you're in a PvP situation. Put express rounds on that thing and you are in for a hell of a good time when it comes to PvP and Red Dead Online. And yeah, there's a few more things I can say. The missions were pretty fun too. For example, the mission where you robbed the bank in Saint Denis. You weren't really robbing it, you didn't really get that much. All you got was like, what, state bonds or some shit? That's all I can really think of. I think it was just state bonds what you got. After that, yeah, you were just done, memes. However, the Jessica Leclerc storyline was also continued in the update, the out of beta update, which I gotta say, it's alright. It was alright. That mission was. The problem was there wasn't that much more. If I'm being honest, the Land of Opportunity storyline still needs to be continued. Which, is a tangent I will get onto very later on into the video. But yeah, for what we got in the update, it was pretty fun. There was some fun missions, there was fun new guns, there was some new showdown modes which were pretty fun as well if you're into the PvP sort of life. And yeah, overall I will say the Out of Beta update was a very successful update. The only thing I can really say that, took it down a peg was obviously, as mentioned earlier, the problem with the online gambling bit in the poker. But really and truly, I can't think of anything else that really brought this update down a peg. I think, personally, it was a good update. It was a very good update, and I think Rockstar, they did a good job with the Out of Beta update for what they were given. And yeah, that's, I guess, the Out of Beta section of this video. What followed afterwards was probably one of the best updates in Red Dead Online. And I will have to say this as well. The lead up to this update, this big, amazing, awesome update, was fucking horrendous. I cannot say this enough. The wait for the next update was really fucking annoying. Mainly because everyone was like, well, where's the update? Where's it coming? Come on, Rockstar, give us a sign, give us a little meme, However, before the update, we got double gold from daily challenges. So you know what? All things considered, there's the old saying, every cloud has a silver lining, and I have to say, the last few weeks waiting for that update was definitely a silver lining. Especially considering how good the update that came after was. And yeah, I guess let's get into the next update part of this video. Now, during the time before this update, and I guess also after this update, Red Dead Online was in a little bit of a state. There were a few glitches that kind of held the experience back, and it didn't take a while before it went from bad to worse. Especially with some of the glitches that came into this update. And there's a reason why I'm talking about this first, mainly because obviously I'm kind of gonna get this bad bit out of the way first. and then we'll get into the good stuff. I promise you, big cheeks. But I guess an old video of mine called Red Dead Online is a masterpiece. I guess that video says pretty much half of the problems that I mentioned pretty well. For this game, oh, wait, who did that? Who put that there? No, get rid of that. Get rid of that. This game's a masterpiece. Show him it's a no. Don't show him that. Don't show him that. So it was kind of a relief when Frontier's Pursuit released, mainly because it fixed a lot of the problems and did a lot of the wrongs, you know, that were in the previous updates. For example, the quote-unquote, you know, fucking problem, you know, fixes update during the beta, and also the add a beta update, where a lot of the problems, they were fixed. However, there were a few more problems that were added, which we'll get into later. But this update was really good when it released. If I'm going to be honest, it brought the community together. A lot of the community were working together, trying to see what was the fastest way to make money with the brand new roles. And speaking of the roles, let's get into the brand new roles, because for an update focused on the roles, there was a lot of things you could do with these roles. So let's get into the roles for a second. The first role, the trader business. Arguably my favorite out of the 3 roles. This role essentially works. It's just like a MC business does in GTA. Now I know there's the old thing where it's like, oh, come on, we don't want to treat this game like it's a second job. I understand. But I personally enjoyed it, mainly because, honestly, it was a good way of making money. And actually, when this update first released, it was one of my main ways of making money. Then that was long before I found out about how good the collector role is. But we'll get onto that in a second when we talk about the collector role. The trader role basically works like this. You get a few animal parts, you give them to Crips, and then boom bada bing, you make some profit. You can hold a maximum of 100 goods into the business and sell it off for a profit of either $500 in the local sale or $625 if you want to risk it for a chocolate biscuit and go for an extra longer, you know, a more of a scenic route for a, you know, delivery. And honestly, I usually do the scenic route because, you know what, it's always fun to put your stuff on the line and have a quick bit more money in that pocket, you know. I love making a bit of money in game, and you bet your ass I enjoyed the trader business because of how fun and good it was for making money, in my opinion. I personally really enjoyed the trader business, and I think, honestly, it was a good way for Rockstar to start adding in some businesses into Red Dead Online. Now, if only they didn't fuck that up later down the road. But I digress. The trader business was very good for money making, and the only problem was that animal spawn started to, how can I put this, have a few problems during Frontier's Pursuit. They wouldn't spawn as much as they used to. In fact, the camp problem started to come back that wasn't present since the beta. That started to happen again. Animal spawns were going all over the places. No one knew how to find the animals. People were like, oh, maybe if we go up north we'll find a lot more animals. Nobody knew what to do. And the problem was, because of those problems, a lot of people stopped doing the trader business after they hit Trader 20. Which was unfortunate because there's a lot of good ways of making money involved in the trader business. And it's a really good way if, you know, if you wanted to level up that outlaw pass back in the day. Anyway, so that was the first role, which is the trader business. Let's get into the second role, which is the collector role. Now, I don't have any gameplay of the collector role, mainly because I cannot be asked to go looking for coins or heirlooms. However, I will say this, the collector role is a very good way of making money. In fact, everyone will say this, say it with me now, it is the best way of making money in Red Dead Online. Yes, it is a very good way of making money indeed. The collector role usually have, like, there's a total of, like, I think 9 collectible goodies you can get, including the tarot cards variants. And they all pay out in a pretty good and satisfying way if you end up doing the collections. And if you use the Red Dead Online collector map on the internet, you can actually make a little bit of profit and you'll know where all the locations are, as well as Madame the Tsar, who, I'll say this, is #1 waifu, and if you disagree, then you stink. You smell a poo. Shut up. You don't respect #1 waifu. But yeah, the collector role was a good way of making money, and it is still the best way of making money to this day. If you use the collector map and you keep collecting, my recommendations is, I guess, listen to a podcast, listen to music or something, while you're riding around on your horse, looking around for coins and heirlooms and fucking alcohol bottles. Yeah, that's the collector role in a nutshell. So you can sometimes get lucky and find the free mode events, Condor, Egg, and Salvage, and then boom, bada bing, you can get more collectibles. Same with Trade Route for the trader business, where you can get 6 to 18 bits of goods into the business, which I would say is very helpful indeed. It's a welcome addition in my opinion. But yeah, that's the collector role in a nutshell. Let's finally get into the last of the 3 roles. Now finally, we have the Bounty Hunter role, which is essentially another version of Stranger Missions, but except you're going after a target. And honestly, I'm gonna say this, the Bounty Hunter role is so much fun. It's so much fun, it is. It is like really fun if you just want to just hang out, go after one dude and maybe do some collections as well. I think probably the Bounty Hunter role is essentially a good kick back, relax, and instead of, going around grinding, doing the trader business and, doing the, bloody collections and all that, it's just more of a kick back, relax, and just have a goof around and get a few goodies and all that by, killing some bad guys and then get some cash and gold. And that's what I like about the Bounty Hunter role. It's more of a gameplay sort of thing, instead of like Trader, which is like, wait for cargo, then it's done, woohoo. It's different. It's just gameplay over just waiting your ass for something, It's like, honestly, if I have to be honest, it does get boring waiting, And I enjoy Red Dead Online. I enjoy a lot of the things you can do in it. But the problem is, I don't like just having to wait. It does get boring, admittedly. Personally, if I'm being honest, I think when they with the Bounty Hunter role, what they did was a very good thing, where they made it essentially just a kick back, relax, get yourself a repeater or a revolver, and just aim for the head and kill those assholes that are starting problems, And it's also very good if you're into the looting life, because you never know, you might get yourself a few collectibles, like a coin, maybe a bottle, maybe a tarot card if you're lucky. Now, we've finished talking about the roles. There is another thing that Frontiers Pursuits also released, and that is called the Outlaw Pass. And the Outlaw Pass is essentially a battle pass, just like in Fortnite, or Black Ops 4, Warzone, Rocket League, Dead by Daylight. There's a lot of games that have this sort of pass system. And honestly, it's, in my opinion, it's essentially all those quote-unquote passes perfected. I personally really like the the Outlaw Pass in Red Dead Online, mainly because it actually does a pretty good job of giving you time to level all those, tiers up and then get your goodies and all that. And plus, if you end up buying it, you can easily make the gold back, the money back and all that. You can make a lot of good stuff from that Outlaw Pass. And plus, when you start it, you get a bit of XP boost for your your rolls. So if you end up having a little bit of trouble starting off in the beginning, the Outlaw Pass is like, hey, I got you, fam. Here's some extra here's a little boost, here's like a 25% boost. So, yeah, I think the Outlaw Pass is pretty good in that regard. Mainly because it helped a lot of players, level up those rolls a little bit faster. And plus, there was a lot of redeeming qualities as well, such as the money, the XP, the treasure maps, some of the clothing outfits you can get, which were really, really good. You know, there was a lot of good outfits you can get from the Outlaw Pass. And plus, you know, don't forget the money, don't forget the things and bits and bobs you can put on your guns and all that. It's really good. And I will say this, I think the Outlaw Pass was a very welcomed addition into Red Dead Online. However, there is a fault. A big, big fault in Frontier's Pursuits. And that is this. This update added in a lot of fucking bugs into the game. Like, a lot of fucking bugs into this game. Oh. Who did that? Who put that there? No, get rid of that, This game's a mess. Show him the... No. Don't show him that, don't show him. Jesus Christ, how many wolves are there? What? But who put those wolves there? No, go away. Get out. What are you lot doing here? No. Go away. What are you doing? Get out. Shoot. Vamoose. Get out. What are you doing? Jesus Christ, how many wolves were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This game's a mess. No, don't show him that. Don't show him that. But no. Oh, he's just falling. He's not coming back. Oh, no, now he's back. But his cargo's under the map. Oh. That's not good. But why are you showing the people this clip? This is just a little wardrobe malfunction that happened to that horse. Get rid of that stuff. Show him a masterpiece. Show him a masterpiece. This is... I'm hoping that little montage right there kind of proved my point. There was a lot of bugs that were added during Frontier's Pursuits in Red Dead Online. Like, a lot. And it only got a lot worse as the months went on. But, we the community, we had to put up with it. Mainly because we saw that there was a lot of good content in the update. And it kind of blinded us to an extent. Some of us were like, it's okay. And with the release of Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC round the corner, more people were really just focusing on modding in single player, and I guess maybe just hanging out with friends doing goofy shit in Red Dead Online. So to be honest, not many people noticed the problems with the bugs in Frontier's Pursuits. Which, in my opinion, this was a big problem. This was a massive problem, this was, because with us not really noticing the bugs that much, except for some of us saying, hey, there's a few issues here and there. Examples being the streak reset that happened in the beginning of Frontier's Pursuit. Everyone was really just having a good time, just forgetting about those problems because of the good content. And unfortunately, and this is a thing that I will probably say a lot in the future, if you don't notice one problem, the problems are going to keep stacking up in the future until the point where it's right in fucking front of you, and then you're like, oh, so that's why this and that's not working. So anyway, Frontier's Pursuits, that was a pretty good update. I'll say this, Red Dead Online's masterpiece of an update. And yeah, I think Frontier's Pursuits was a very good update. If you forget about the bugs, it was a good update. And plus it added a lot of replay value with the legendary bounties, I guess the trading business, and the new free mode events as well that were added involving the roles. But yeah, I guess it was sort of missing oomph, in my opinion. Sort of the same oomph that Rockstar put into the previous update. But I still think it was a very good update, especially with the legendary bounties that I did with my friend GB. It was a lot of fun, the legendary bounties were, and I kind of wish Rockstar would add a few more in later updates. But yeah, I guess it's now time we talk about that update. Speaking of that update, alright, so in this part of the video, I want to quickly say, at one point, I'm probably going to throw professionalism out of the window in this part of the video. So, if I get a bit too hostile and vicatory and all that in this part of the video, I'm sorry. But I have a lot of things to say about this update. And not a lot of it is positive. In fact, I think, honestly, the point I mentioned earlier in the video about how, yeah, we gotta be careful, you know, we gotta look around for problems and all that, and at least be more open about the problems. I felt like the problems that came into Frontier's Pursuits got a lot worse! A lot worse in the Moonshiner update. And I'm here to tell you all why. Because honestly, it is fucking horrendous on how bad this update is. Like, bruh, I'm sorry, but this update was a good idea in theory, and I jokingly joked about this kind of idea a few times in the past, you know. And honestly, I was fucking pissed off on how bad this update was. Like, I was fucking pissed off. Like, you know what, we'll talk about some of the problems that happened in this update, and I want you to tell me if these criticism I'm about to give the game, I want you guys to let me know whether it's worthy or not of these criticisms, okay? Okay. Alright, so, first thing, let's talk about it. The Moonshiner property. The pricing went up a little bit by, just 10 gold bars, you know, from the 15 standard gold bars that we paid previously for the roles, you know, like bounty hunting, trading, collecting, you know, all those were, I don't know, like 15 gold bars. This was 25, and don't worry, guys, don't worry. You gotta choose where you want to be. Big brain moment. You get to choose where you want to go. So you don't have to worry. Don't worry, fam. You get to go where you want to go. Okay. All right. So sorry for that little tangent, but I get really fucking pissed off when talking about the Moonshiner update and its failures. And I have to be real. And I want to ask a genuine question. Like, this is a genuine question. Why did Rockstar think to, you know, maybe increase the pricing? Maybe also make it where you have to do everything involving the Moonshiner business, where you have to do the stranger events, you have to do the fucking boring story missions, or you gotta do a few sales, which, might I add, yours truly had a little issue when the fucking update released. So, you know, Rockstar, they never paid me back, in case you're wondering. They never gave me back the $50 in the game. You know, I'm still waiting on it, Rockstar. I mean, I have like 50 or 60k in this game. I'm not too bothered, but yeah, I'm still waiting. Rockstar. It's gonna take time, you know. Yeah, I can wait. I'm a patient man. The update released in December, but it's fine. They're Rockstar. They're immune to criticism because, you know, Take-Two's Micah Bell and Rockstar's Arthur Morgan. Oh yeah, my Arthur Morgan, #1 simp. Oh yeah, destroying misogyny by hitting sick dabs and saying Lenny. Oh man. I'm sorry, but this update brings a lot of anger out of me, and I'm gonna take a minute to cool down. I will be a second. Another thing that kind of annoys me in this update, don't worry, I've cooled down, I've kept my cool under pressure. Another thing that annoys me about this update is Maggie Fike and Marcel. Specifically Maggie Fike. She is probably the most obnoxious character in the Red Dead series. Yes, even more annoying and obnoxious than Sadie Adler. I know a lot of people will be like, this guy's on crack, he doesn't like Sadie. He's worse than, he's a bad man, he's a bad person. Sadie has an annoying voice. Let's move on from that subject. Maggie Fike brings absolutely nothing to the Red Dead Online story. She does nothing. The only thing that we get to learn about her, really, is that she was associated with Crips at one point, and apparently she was, I guess, a love interest of Crips in one point during their lifetime. That's all I can really think of. As for Marcel, there's a little bit of backstory. Apparently he worked for Jessica the Clerk for a while ago. But here's the thing, where is Jessica Leclerc? Where is Horley? Where are those characters? We need them! We don't need these, random new characters to be added just for, hey look, we got brand new characters guys! Look, it's crazy and wacky new characters! Whoa! No. We need the fucking Land of Opportunity storyline concluded. We need actual good content in an update, and I know that's very subjective. What I think is good, you might not think is good. What I think is bad, you might think is good. But here's the thing. Here is the thing. Red Dead Online shouldn't have done this Moonshiner update from that point. They should have thought about, hey, how about instead of, shoehorns and adding random characters for the sake of adding random characters, let's just hold this off for a little bit and actually make more story. Let's add more content into there. Yeah, that's what our fans want. They want content and more actual story for the actual main story in the online we're actually interested in. Not this random bullshit about how Maggie Fike almost got fucking burned alive by some fucking quote-unquote misogynistic agent from the Bureau. Whoa, Maggie's so strong and brave, she'd survive being burned alive, and she's on a warpath for revenge. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. No, we don't give a shit about that story, okay? The Moonshine story is fucking boring. There's only one good mission I can actually think of, and that's the one where you're on a boat. The only good time I actually remember that mission was when it was snowing because it had a good backdrop. I'm sorry. I don't like the Moonshiner storyline. It's boring. There's nothing to do. Alright. Tell me what goes on. Tell me, the entire storyline in a nutshell, okay? I'll wait. Exactly. Fuck all happens. Nothing gets achieved other than you kill the agent that, tried to burn Maggie alive, and you piss off some black dude for some reason. Which is, what happens after that? Oh, Maggie Fike just drinks fucking moonshine and celebrates that she killed some bastard? What was the achievement in it? Marcel does fuck all. The character Lem, I jokingly call Len, after one of my mods, he brings nothing to the table other than a few shitpost memes. Same with fucking Marcel. Marcel, in my opinion, is more annoying than Crips when it comes to fucking waiting around for a moonshine sale. I'm sorry, I just don't like the Moonshiner update. I feel like it was a good idea in theory, but in the execution it showed that it, just like how Frontier's Pursuit succeeded, right? How Frontier's Pursuit succeeded was because there were 3 roles. This update only had 1. That's where this role kind of went downhill. If it was 3 roles again, like upgrades for Bounty Hunter, Collector, and like how this is an upgrade to the Trader role, I think a lot more people would be on board with this kind of update. But no, it's just one thing, and one thing only. Here you go, no news at all other than, hey, we shut down the servers because virtue signaling and memes, and hey look, fucking shocks are on sale. I don't even know. I'm sorry for this bit, being more of a rant, like I said, this bit, I kinda am gonna throw professionalism out of the window. I don't like the Moonshine update. I don't like the Moonshiner update. I like the business. Yes, I like the business, because it's a good way of making money. But the execution of this update was just terrible. They had so many opportunities. They had so many opportunities to make this a memorable and good update. But they just throw it out the window. Like, nothing gets achieved at the end of the story. Nothing happens. In my opinion, the whole Moonshine story is a waste of time because, like I said, nothing gets achieved, nothing gets accomplished, and all it is just, hey, look, woman got burnt alive. Hey, look, can of baked beans. Hey, look, the issues are getting worse. But hey, listen. Socks and Rolex speed boost, okay? Also, might I just say, animal spawns got a lot fucking worse in this update. It got a lot worse, boy. It got a lot worse. Like, it's really bad now. Really bad, okay? Like, there's literally been a theory now going around that apparently, if you're in a lobby with less than 15 peoples, you know, their animals will spawn more commonly. And that theory has probably been shown to be true, because considering that every time I play a mission or I'm, you know, just in a very small lobby with friends, we see a lot of animals. Now, if we're in a big lobby, like a massive army of a lobby, you know, where there's loads of people in there hanging out, doing what they do, yeah, there's no animals. Also, random events, they stop spawning in. They don't spawn in as much as they used to. That's funny, Rockstar. Yeah, you little goofballs. Ha ha ha. The Outlaw Pass, by the way, this time around, actually was pretty good. We got some good outfits, like Arthur and John's outfits. Those were pretty cool, I guess, to see in online. And it made for a lot of good cosplays in Red Dead Online of people making themselves look like Arthur and John from story mode. And people finally got to wear Arthur's and John's hats in online, which I guess was a good thing, because a lot of people really enjoyed those outfits. Myself included. I think the outfits are pretty good. They're pretty good outfits, and I guess it's good for those that enjoy doing the cosplays in the Red Dead Onlines. You know, it's kind of good now that they have something else to do. You know, they have more things to work with, you know. But the problem is, the Outlaw Pass 2 has been over since March. It's now June as I am making this video. Where's the next Outlaw Pass? Where is it? Did it go missing? Did it get abducted by aliens or Pingu? Or even worse, Pingu's dad. Well, that's a bad thing if that's the case. No, like, there's been no fucking news. Nothing. Rockstar has just kept quiet. They've kept us under the radar. Like, they haven't said anything at all. Like, the last time we got actual new content, I think, was in February. February! What? I'm sorry, but you're here, you're gonna explain to me, right? You're gonna explain to me that a AAA game, made by a AAA games developer, you know, studio and all that, will not release content for, like, what, 3 or 4 months? Now, I understand the coronavirus outbreak kind of put a lot of things on hold. But a lot of the developers had those, like, little backup plans, you know? Like, you know, Fortnite, boom, bada bing, they had the Travis Scott concert, you know? The Warzone updates happened, you know? Like, Season 3 and 4. Like, Season 4 is probably released by now when I'm making this video. You know, Mafia 2 Definitive Edition released by Hangar 13. A lot of companies had insurance policies ready. Where the fuck was Rockstar's insurance policy? Like, answer me. Where is it? did they actually think, hey, let's maybe actually, you know, let our community know, hey, we're gonna drop this update a little bit early, you know, it's a lot earlier than we actually had planned. But considering, you know, there's unfortunately a horrible outbreak that's kind of taken a lot of lives, and I know a lot of you people are at home at the moment, you know, we're gonna release this content just so you guys have something to wait until, you know, things hopefully get back to normal. I'm sorry, Rockstar, but these, oh, we're mysterious, we don't know what to tell you when this is gonna release, this kind of attitude is old. We need you to be transparent with the community. Otherwise, don't be surprised if the community leave, okay? Don't be surprised if that happens. And it's only gotten worse in recent months, okay? It's only gotten worse in recent months. And a lot of people are not happy, myself included. Like, it's not that difficult, you know? I understand. I don't know how game development works, you know? But here's the thing. A lot of the studios prior, you know, like Activision, Apex Legends, what else? I don't know. Fucking Hangar 13 with the Mafia 2 Definitive Edition. They all had their insurance policies and they released their stuff when it was all ready. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry, Rockstar, but you have to stop this little mysterious, oh, we're not going to release this stuff because we're mysterious. Give us a fucking roadmap, okay? Let us know when content is coming. Other game developments, game developers have done this. Hell, even Apex, not Apex Legends, even Raid Shadow Legends, the fucking meme mobile phone, that has a roadmap for content that's going to be released. You know, the Let's Play Raid Shadow Legends. That has a goddamn roadmap. Why can't you? It's not that difficult. Like, I'm sorry, it's not that difficult to make a roadmap. It's not that difficult to, you know, get onto a fucking, you know, fucking Adobe Flash, you know, get on the fucking Photoshop and shit, make your fucking, you know, little thingy, you know, make your little roadmap. It's not that difficult. Hell, I can make a fucking roadmap if I wanted to about content that's releasing for the channel. You know? I could do that. I bet your asses you could too. It's not that difficult. I'm sorry for getting into a bit of a tangent in this bit, but there is a few positives with the Moonshiner update. For example, new daily objectives, few balancing. I'm sorry, but Moonshiner was probably, out of all the 3 big major updates, this was clearly the worst out of the 3 major updates. Like, out of Beta, Frontier Pursuits, and Moonshiner. Moonshiner was the worst one. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. That's just how I see things. It was clearly the worst one. Like, I'm sorry, but this was terrible. This was a terrible update. And I don't blame a lot of people also probably having the same viewpoint as I do with this update. Moonshiners could have been a lot better. A lot better. And it's a shame that Rockstar have not been transparent with the community about the problems. You know, they like, hey, look at these socks and all that. Like, I'm sorry, but this is just pissing me off. It's pissed a lot of the community members off too. Anyway, so I guess that concludes the Moonshiner section of this video. I guess now we'll talk about the uncertain future for this game, I guess. Alright, so in this part of the video, we're gonna actually now, first of all, we're gonna talk about my worries about what could happen next in Red Dead Online. First of all, we need heists. No photography role, we just need that heists. Heist is what we need more than taking photos of rocks, okay? So, please Rockstar, make the next update be something big like heists. Otherwise, don't be surprised if the community leaves. And the problem is, this has happened several times. We get some good bits, we have some high points and then low points, and the problem is, the high points are fairly short-lived. And then after that, it's back to another low point. Anyway, so I guess that's my brief talking about the my worries about Red Dead Online. So let's get into my rankings of all the DLCs. And keep in mind, this is my personal opinion, but hopefully you guys can understand that and respect it as well. Number 1, Frontier's Pursuits. Easily the best out of all the updates. This update added in brand new roles and it added a lot of replayability into Red Dead Online, which desperately needed it at the time. With the roles being, you know what, pretty okay. They were actually pretty fun to do in the beginning. But the problem is, it added in a lot of bugs, and to be honest, no one really does the other roles other than Collector anymore at this point. Number 2, the Out of Beta update. Now, obviously this update was good because it got Red Dead Online out of the beta. Even though technically it was out of the beta after they added in the gold bars, but officially it was out of beta. And it added in a lot of fun playable things like the poker, you know, the new story missions, the Lamette revolver, and it made Red Dead Online very fun to play again. Especially considering that, obviously, there were 5 new missions, a brand new gun, and plus there was some, you know, more showdown modes to play. Number 3, the Moonshiners update. Now obviously I did have a little rant about it earlier, but I do think it was pretty fun in some regards. The Moonshiner business was a good way of making money, and I guess it was sort of fun in the beginning just to fuck around with friends down below. And the one mission where you're hanging out on the boat just killing, you know, revenue agents, I guess that's fun too. But other than that, there's not really that much to do. Just make moonshine and then you're done. Number 4, the beta phase. Easily the worst out of the entirety of Red Dead Online cycle. The update that came out for the beta, where it just added in daily objectives and maybe a few showdown modes, wasn't really that much. And plus, honestly, a lot of people didn't really enjoy it. The only redeeming quality was daily objectives. Other than that, there was nothing really to do. And Red Dead Online became a desolate wasteland until May when it came out of the beta. I hope you guys enjoyed my ranking of all the DLCs in Red Dead Online. If you do not agree, then you're more than welcome to put your ranking down below in the comments. We'd be a very boring society if we all had the same opinion. But I hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is me just giving my honest opinion about Red Dead Online and me just talking about how essentially it had a rise and then a massive fall. The lack of content is the fall. The rise was its humble beginnings, and now there's not really that much to say. Red Dead Online is in pretty much of a state, and honestly, it's a shame. I do wish Rockstar would address the problems in this mode, but I don't think they will. I think they're too busy with GTA Online. I think they're gonna just keep focusing on the shark card sales and the updates for GTA, and Red Dead will fade away into obscurity, which is a shame. There's a lot of people that make the meme, oh, Red Dead Online is doomed. They're right, I guess. It's a shame that they are possibly right. Red Dead Online has taken a massive fall. And that was the rise and fall of Red Dead Online. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do feel free to leave a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave a dislike. Just want your honest opinion. If you want to sub to the channel, do feel free. We're on the road to 800. My socials are down below. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys. And I'll see you in whatever I do next. Bye, guys.